The Indians think they can take over every Western country they go into. Isn't this fabulous? If you've been watching anything online, you've probably come across this Indian looking bitch, Narinder Kaur. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name correctly. Anyway, she was on Good Morning Britain and she straight up lost it when this guy, Thomas Skinner, started waving his English flag and it quickly became a meme. Go ahead and watch this.
And actually, I do worry for the
In
coronation.
no sense is that a symbol of
See, that, you know what that is?
nationalism or
That's just
racism.
kind of ignorance to me because you're waving it around and I feel it's
Don't start with me.
to people.
Listen, look, I'm proud to be English. I'm coming here to say that, yeah. There's a million things. Like, I don't think that just because of a few wrong uns that are far right.
It's not few wrong uns, it's a lot.
Listen, the majority of people, yeah, should be able to be proud of where they come from. Like,
They should.
We ain't letting them take.
I don't think you should encourage nationalism.
we are.
Either. You should
We are
encourage.
proud.
We've had Brexit, Windrush. There's a
You hear her saying, oh, I don't think we should encourage nationalism. What she means is, I don't think we should encourage nationalism in white countries because I want to be able to come into your country and take it over. That's what she means. Look at her. Look at how she loses her mind.
A symbol of
you know what that is?
nationalism or
That's-
racism.
See that? You know what that is? That means it's for British people, and I want to be British too. Also, look, I'm trying not to be Indian by dyeing my hair as blonde as it'll possibly go before it falls off. Why do these people want to be Westerners, but don't want Westerners to be proud of being Westerners? It's ridiculous. Let's watch the rest of this because it's really, you could just see her losing it. And then, by the way, she's saying like, I don't think you should be a nationalist, but let's look at her recent video when she went to India.
So I am here in India and I asked the question, is it possible for children of immigrants to be able to come back to the homeland, the fatherland, and be repatriated, reconnected and be able to live here possibly? Because we always feel like we live in this no man's land, that we don't really quite belong in Britain, we don't quite belong here. But what I have felt more than anything is that I've found my tribe, my people. These are my people. I feel at home. It might be a 100% different world. It's a totally different world in India, but I don't feel like an imposter. And, you know, it's funny because on the plane over, I had to fill in a form. And I was a foreigner. It said foreigner coming to India. But I'm the foreigner in Britain. I feel a foreigner in Britain. I am a foreigner here, but I feel at home. They've made me feel welcomed.
She can't admit the truth. You feel at home because it's your home. They don't have to make you feel welcome. It's where you're from. You have a birthright there. If somebody tried to tell you that you don't belong in India, you would be 100% correct to tell them to get. You feel like a foreigner in Britain because you are a foreigner in Britain. But you can't admit that because that would involve you recognizing that England is built for and by the British people, and British people are a specific ethnicity. They are a specific race, which you aren't. This is why you get so triggered by this guy waving the British flag or the flag of St. George, because you know you don't belong there. Let's just finish watching this crazy woman.
You know, and I feel resentment. I feel resentment that my parents were forced to come over to Britain to make a life.
Forced to come over. Who forced them to come over? They didn't have to. Oh, but they didn't want to have to shit on the beach and watch their kid get by 3 Indians who could just pay off the police and then not have any charges.
India was stripped bare by the British.
Oh, here we go, right. The colonials stripped India bare from the Brit. Wait, what did you have before them? Did you guys have a wealthy country that was prospering? No. In fact, you were burning your women on the funeral pyre, and that stopped thanks to Britain. And your country was actually doing better under the rule of Britain, but then you kicked them out because your communist propaganda that infiltrated you with Gandhi, who's walking around sleeping naked with his nieces, pedophile, told you that you would be better being free. Now you're upset about it, and you still can't take accountability for 2 reasons. Number 1, you're a woman. Number 2, you're brown. And you just want to blame this on Britain.
They've had to come over to England to get jobs.
Jobs.
And
What
here
did
I
you
am
make
now
jobs?
in England, where a country that doesn't really like brown or black people, and you don't. And I've spoken to foreign students here, like the ones I spoke to from Congo.
Okay, they don't like black and brown people so much that you are actually a news anchor on a major British television show. Wow, they must really hate you guys.
I said, have you actually experienced racism? No, nothing. I've seen every nationality here being welcomed with open arms.
Yeah, oh yeah. They're welcomed with open arms, especially if you're a white girl. Whew, you are welcomed with open arms. Yeah, you won't be able to get out, but you'll be welcomed. The whole reason that she's going on and on about how she doesn't feel welcome, what she really means is we want Britain to be our country. We want to rule it. And you white people insist on continuing to live here and wanting to rule your own country. I'm not sure which brown people are getting beat up in Britain. Last time we checked, you had these Pakistani grooming rape gangs running around with impunity. If it was a proper country, all of those people would have been hanged in the public square as a message to anyone else who was even thinking about doing that. But because Britain's been totally cucked and all the white people want to make sure that nobody thinks we're racist, oh my God, that's the worst thing we could be. They're letting, you can rape our daughters, no problem, just don't say we're racist. These people now are completely arrogant and, rightfully so, think they can do whatever they want with no repercussions, because that's exactly what's happening. I'm like, oh, I don't feel welcome. I'm just going to wear your hair and get all of your Botox and your skin products, try to bleach my skin and make myself whiter, take your fake eyelashes and do my eyebrows like a British woman. I'm trying. I'm going to here bleach my teeth.
Okay, so what... Because you say, as a woman of colour, you
Women
don't
of colour.
feel that this flag represents you, or that there
It's
are
not
things-
inclusive.
Yeah. So what is your proposition?
Yeah, okay, it's not inclusive. What the you have to kind of pierce through the veil of what these people are doing, okay? What she actually wants is to take your country. She can't just come out and say that because it's your country. She knows she doesn't have a right to it. However, she's learned this communist color revolution language to disguise herself, to clothe herself in the garb of the victim. Woman of color. Okay, automatically, that's going to set off associations. Women of color, they're oppressed. Even though they're outnumber white women in the world, right? Even though their men came here and your women in Britain and their wives just looked the other way and basically said the girls were sluts. So, okay. So she's gonna clothe herself in this language, woman of color, which is gonna make it seem like she's a victim. And then she's gonna say that flag is not inclusive. It's not inclusive. It doesn't have to include you, bitch. It's not about you. Is the Indian flag inclusive? Is an African flag inclusive? Is a Middle Eastern flag inclusive? No, it's supposed to represent the country. Now you want a new flag because you want a new identity to the country, because the actual identity does not include you because it's not supposed to. This is what it means to have a national identity. But you've been given this headstrong opinion that you're entitled because they took out jewels. By the way, right? Just compare that propaganda to the propaganda of Black Americans. We're entitled because we were enslaved by you people, and you can see that it is the same ideology, which makes you beg the question, is the same group of people behind both of these problems?
It's
proud of things which they
outdated.
achieved
We
together.
can't, but let's get a new flag, because that one is outdated
Well-
and it represents far too much negativity in this country.
Yeah, what it represents is the British people, who you will never be. You're never going to be British. Never going to get it, never going to get it. No, you're always going to be brown. You don't go to India because you know you get and you're lying. You're a liar. And as much as you make your face like this, if you can't get a new flag, you can't get a new flag. Shut it. I can't wait for the extreme right. They're not even here yet, right? The far right isn't even who we're waiting for. We're waiting for the extreme right that's going to take every single one of these bitches and be like, you know what? Since you don't like this country, since this country's so not inclusive, let's go ahead and send you to your country where you can be inclusive. You're speaking our language on our news channel. You're telling us how we should have a country, what flag we should have, so we can make you feel better. Your feelings are your problem, bitch. If you don't feel welcome in a country that has literally given you a prime job as the head of their freaking media department, maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're mentally ill and nothing anybody does is going to help you because you don't belong here and you know it. Maybe. What you going to do? You going to turn Britain into India? Sorry, we like using toilets here. And you're going to act like white people are the only people who have ever done anything wrong in the history of the world. Why don't you go look at India's treatment of the Muslim minority population, or India's persecution of the Christians? You guys are not innocent. Okay, and then you don't even have to go there. All you have to do is look at the way Indian men treat Indian women. This is like a rampant theme with these people, where they think they can come into your country and then tell you how to run it. So this Pajit, who doesn't even look like a real person, looks like an AI generated image of like if you tried to tell like Grok to create an Indian who could wear a suit. This is what they would do, because he's kind of got like some kind of weird lesbian, some kind of haircut that's between a lesbian and like a Harry Styles, and then this ill-fitting suit. And what, I don't know what this expression is, but let's go ahead. I want to show you guys exactly what he said.
This is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our...
I'm sorry, did I accidentally call customer service? What the hell? This is a U.S. congressman. He can't even speak English.
democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling.
Okay, so first of all, do you have a Supreme Court in India? No. Do you guys respect democracy in India? No. Do you guys even have police that actually enforce the law? No. But you know about the democracy we should have here. Right, okay.
Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution.
Well, since you want to reference the Constitution, why don't we reference the part that says that it should be only land-owning white males that should be voting, never mind in Congress. What, do you stand by that? No, it's called selective reading. I'm not gonna listen to a Pajit. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna listen to an Indian tell me about how the country should be run. I'm not.
And balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump, outlining 7 articles of impeachment.
It's gotta impress you guys when somebody who doesn't have any of these rights where they come from, whose country does not actually respect any of these ways of operating, wants to come into your country and tell you that this is how these rights have to be executed. You can see how bad things have really gotten in Europe. Played on double speed. Look at this white lady over here just getting smashed. Look at their faces. Also, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Look at her. Look at that woman laughing. Did you see the hordes just coming in? They have no clue that this whole system of public transportation was built by the Portuguese for their people. It's been running for God knows how long without any of these problems. They're going to totally destroy it, right? Because they're not paying for it. None of them are paying for it. Starts to close that. Ends up closing that. Closes this one door. Okay. Now this door over here is broken. Bus can't go anywhere. They don't know. They start to leave. Oh, this one's not working. We'll go to the other one. We'll go ruin the other one. Oh, finally, door's not working? Oh, door's broken. We broke the door. Because we don't know how to behave. Oh, do you see this? Do you believe this? Do you believe this? Now watch what happens. That is a perfect metaphor for exactly what's going to happen to Western countries, right? We found a system. The system's been working. It's been operational. We're third world hordes. We have no IQ. We can't comprehend how things work. We can't comprehend that these things don't just function by themselves, that they actually have to be maintained and respected and cared for. We just see something we want. We're going to come get it. We're going to get it. Destroyed. Oh, this one's destroyed? Let's go to the next one. Like locusts. Literally, this is what locusts do, right? They swarm to a patch that's got lots of vegetation, eat it until it's nothing gone, and then they go, well, we got to go somewhere else, and they do that. Perfect metaphor. Okay, I don't know how you can watch that and not feel tremendous rage for the destruction that's happening to your homelands and your countries. And when we watched this chick talk about going to India, she called it her homeland. She didn't say visiting India. She said going to her homeland. But I thought you were British. Shouldn't Britain be your homeland? Why are you referring to India as your homeland? And this gives you a glimpse into their mentality. And she said, I wonder if I could come here and live here. You probably could. Once you successfully destroy the UK, once you take everything that there is to be taken, and this is what you accuse the British of, going into India and stripping it of its raw materials and then leaving. But I know that this isn't true just based on the nature of the European people. European people do not flock into a land and then destroy it and leave. They build what is there. They take the things that you're not using and they actually show you how to develop them. There was no one living in South Africa before the Dutch went there. There was no farmlands. There was no civilization. There were no buildings. The Dutch built that. And then the nomadic Bantu, who went through killing tribes of Africans, the real savages, found their way into this country and were like, oh, well, we want this. And just like these locusts, they came in, swarmed what has been built, sucking it dry, stripping it of any kind of value, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Because this is what these people do. And it's not their fault, you know? You can't really blame them. They're idiots. They have low... It's like letting children eat all the candy and then getting mad at them that they're sick. You're supposed to be in charge. And you've let your brains be totally poisoned by this communist Bolshevik propaganda of, oh my God, you're so bad because you're white, and the worst thing you can be is racist. And it's not going to change until people stop being afraid of these, being a bad word. And when we win, because if we don't, we're going to die, it doesn't matter, right? But when we win, these are the lessons that need to be in the history books. These are the morals that need to be taught to our children. That courage is the number one value. Without courage, everything else dies. And if you don't have the courage to speak the truth, then shut the fuck up. Do not, you are doing nothing. There's no bravery in being a mouthpiece for the propaganda. And this is how you should know you're not the resistance. Because when you say the things you say, nobody gets angry. You don't get canceled. You don't get threats. So you are not a danger and you're not a fucking rebel.